Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. How are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thank you. I think the last time we spoke, Creatures was just getting off the ground, which was very exciting at that time. So where's the business today?
Yeah, it's man, if it's been it was an exciting journey to get to just get to that point, and it really seems like 2022 has been really on overdrive for probably the entire ecosystem and development and whatnot, but especially with us, with what the team is accomplishing, whether it's from a marketing perspective with Lena. We've got our two full stack devs
Oh wow.
outside of myself. So Alex, who is in the Ukraine and has had to move to the other side of Ukraine. Alex and our newest dev SDK, they are just crushing work, and it's an exciting time as we see the game getting deeper, and then some other elements, whether it's UI improvements, the Genesis Go Shadow nodes and stuff. So it's really exciting because there's a lot of things going on right now, to working towards sustainability and longevity, and being here. We had our birthday, our 1 year birthday in March, and making sure we're here for our second and third and fifth birthday.
I can't believe it's been a year already. That's
Yeah,
that's mad.
in March, yeah, March 26th was our first birthday. And when you think about it, it is mind blowing to me. And I'm biased. I'm very close to it, but like, let's just take Magic Eden. Probably most of our favorite marketplace for NFTs on Solana. There's over 7,000 collections on Solana.
Oh wow.
I think we're up to they're up to like 7,500 ish collections. And like, we were the first. We are number, as far as our place on the timeline. We were number one. And it's amazing to see, not just how far we've come from those beginnings, early 2021, but the ecosystem as well, with the rollout of those 7,500 plus different collections.
Yeah. No, it is crazy how it's all sort of developed over the last year. I didn't quite expect the whole market to really like turn that way, and also like the kin ecosystem. It's so much more vibrant than it once was. Like a lot more collaboration between different teams. The Kin Foundation seemed to be doing really well. I was just listening to, I think, the Uproll um,
Mhm.
community call the other day. That was very interesting. Yeah, it is all looking really good. I've actually got a question actually. About Kin and the KRE. Is there any plans of Creatures utilising that in the future, or 'cause I don't think I've seen you on the sheet they release every week.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're outside. We're right outside the top 10. That hasn't. So, like, working on climbing that ladder. I am a little bit of a competitive person, and that is going to be an exciting piece for me. So we do have a spend. It's the Cree Pass. And in the game, you can earn kin from your achievements and daily activities. It is a play to earn game, but you only get the kin if you have the Cree Pass. So that was our first spin. Other than having that available, like, hey, you need to have some buy-in to the game, some skin in the game before you can get all the free kin. Other than just having that, making it available in the first place, it hasn't really been a priority. The
Totally fair.
spins in general, and working on walking, getting, going up that ladder. So far the priority has been, we need to make a deep, engaging, fun game. Um,
That's the best way to go about it in my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And we need to. I mean, whether it's talk about value, and it's so clinical and corporate, but at the end of the day, like, whatever the app is, whether it's a tool you use or something you use for leisure, or games or whatnot, like, that value is like fun, right? And we're talking about games. And if it's not very fun, if I wouldn't pay for it, then what are we really doing? But that said, we have just opened up the game to all NFTs on Solana. We haven't made a big announcement on that just yet, even though it is there, like it is available. Like you can have any randoms NFT on Solana that's tracked by Magic Eden, so one of those 7,500, and you can play it in the game.
Wow. Okay.
So opening up the game to everyone beyond the 70 partners that we already had in the game. Once we make that big announcement that it's here and available, I expect that to have an impact on our Cree earnings.
Yeah.
And then we have some other spins that we're rolling out as well. Because at the end of the day, like the Cree and Kin is an amazingly powerful tool for developers and company. Like to mine Kin, you build something that's delightful and useful and fun for users. And I just think that's a beautiful concept. And while like creature owners will earn Kin from staking and things like that, like at the end of the day, we're not looking towards giving away more than we take in spins. So I don't know that any other Kin app does this, but we'll be publishing a page. Like it'll be one of the pages under our Kreechures.com of, hey, here's everything that we've earned for transparency and showing how amazing Kin is. You don't have to rely on like marketing and stealing data and whatnot, or not marketing, but ads and stealing data and whatnot to be sustainable. So you can earn a fair income if your app is useful. But we'll have, here are all the here are the spins. We've made 50 million from 50 million Kin from players, or whatever, 3 billion Kin from players in spins, and then this is how much we've gotten from the KRE, and then this is how much we've given back. Because at the end of the day, like the longer term goal for us, and every app is different, every company is different, but for us, the long-term goal is longevity and sustainability. And if we're giving away more than we take in, it doesn't really contribute to that. So we're actually going to be publishing that. Not that we're publishing anything secret, because you could just see it on the blockchain anyways. But we want to make it easily accessible to everyone, so you can see. Because that us being here and planning on being here for the next 5 years is what's absolutely critical to us. We believe that's the best way to give value back to collectors, creature owners, we're no different than any other small business. And in the U.S., the vast majority of small businesses fail. In the crypto space, the vast majority of NFT projects fail. As low as our volume and floor is, we're actually in the top like 6% of all NFT projects.
Wow.
Because we're
That's
still
impressive.
here, and we're still here, we're still delivering and whatnot.
It's quite funny actually. I had two different questions for you, and you've kind of already answered. One of them was sort of your plans going forward, obviously due to sort of like the downturn. Are you forward thinking in regards to Kreechures, which just sounds very much like you are. And the other one was how do you feel the Kin ecosystem is growing in general, and how is it sort of progressing? If you've got anything to add, then feel free. But if not, we'll move on.
I do, yeah. So for the second question, man, I am really excited, like about what the Kin Foundation is doing. They've probably long ago decided to up their like marketing game, and because of the past, I understand that's probably a sensitive area for them to go into. But I'm excited. I think it's July they mentioned that we may see some of the output from the ad agency they were working on. I can't remember when the economist that they hired, when we'll see anything from that. I'm excited about it. And then what I'm really most excited about isn't their work. They're doing great things. Beeman is awesome. Kevin is awesome. Jesse is amazing. But I'm most excited about the apps that are out there, and we are beginning to work together to in mutually beneficial ways.
Mhm.
Like we just KinScan is an example. I think it's an amazing explorer for kin transactions on the blockchain. It's a lot more intuitive than like the standard Solana
Exactly what they needed.
Explorer. And with our achievements, you can earn kin, right? If you have a Cree pass. So we have in our app, we have an area where you can see your achievements, and you can click the magic button and actually go see the transaction itself. And we've updated that to, it just sends you straight to the KinScan page for that transaction. We're also advertising with them. And then there's a couple of the other apps that we're looking at of how can we work together. So that's an exciting thing, like us working together, because at the end of the day, these are all small businesses, and we're stronger together. There's plenty of areas where it makes sense, where we can it's mutually beneficial. And at the end of the day, it's like providing value and just making it right. When you're a small business, it's like, can I make it the next month? What steps do
Yeah.
I need to do to make it the next 6 months and year and beyond?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. In regards to working with everyone in the ecosystem, I think what I think is very good. What Kin did from the set really was always said, the community should always work together. And that's how the community will thrive, and that's how the ecosystem will thrive. At the end of the day, there's only so much the Kin ecosystem or the Kin Foundation can do, but together
Right.
it is a lot stronger. You know what I mean? Like Uproll working on a few things, you bringing in, people from, non-kin community people, you're going to be bringing in loads from that once everything you mentioned sort of like integrated and marketing starts around that, and like everything from the Kin Explorer, like it's all these little pieces which work its way up for the ecosystem just to be thriving, and I'm very excited to see where this year takes us. I definitely think by the end of year, with the like no code stuff all being sorted, it'll be very interesting to see where the ecosystem is at.
That is like what Uproll created, that low code, no code tool to integrate Kin. That is really exciting to me, because there are tons. I won't make up a number. I don't know the number. But the number of like no code and low code developers out there. There's a whole ecosystem of apps just to support them. The earliest version of Kreechures, the actual game, was on a low code platform called Adalo. We've since moved to a custom collection, custom stack. But there's a ton that you can do, building, quote unquote, real apps, publishing them on the App Store. And I've been going down the list of like, what data can we expose about creatures or in the game via endpoints, so we just make it publicly available. And then maybe not take it as far as a hackathon, but make it available. Make sure at least our community knows it's available, and have some prizes for, like, hey, some of our collectors have already been playing around, and I think someone created like a Tinder for Kreechures kind of thing, which was pretty funny. But what data can we make available, and then just open it up to them to see what they can do, what they can create, and how we can support them on building little apps or whatever, related to Kreechures, but on that bubble platform. It's pretty amazing. And you know what? If someone can make something, if someone makes something amazing, and whether it's some game guide or whatever, related to Kreechures, and they integrate with a Kin, then that's their Kin app. Then more power to them, and we'll be their first customer. Like, they will have earned the Cree that they're earning.
Yeah, no, that is very interesting. Actually, you've got me really thinking about everything which could be done. Like that no code, like it just opens the doors up to to everyone, and I think that's like a really powerful thing which was needed in the kin ecosystem. So I'm very glad that that got done. And really, in my eyes now, I don't want to talk for everyone, but I kind of feel like those who are sitting on the sideline, you know, don't who don't have all this like development skills, like they could just jump in and try now to do it. And I think that's a big thing. There's no real excuse not to jump in now. If you want to help the kin ecosystem, you can, which is exciting.
Just you know what? Even forget that. Just be greedy. Like there's lots of people, lots of smart people on this planet, and with great ideas, and the low code, no code platforms provide a mechanism for you to participate in like this modern economy. So I think at this point the biggest hindrance isn't the tech. You have to have a developer to do it. You don't. It's not the idea. There's lots of great ideas out there. Really, it's like just do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have, I'm not a super young man. I've had tons of ideas throughout my life. Whether it's app or site related, whatever, even taking it to doing research and whatnot. But I allowed myself to fall in the trap of the research and planning trap, which turned into a form of procrastination and me feeling like, oh, if it doesn't cure cancer, then no one's going to care. And I never released. And with Kreechures, I was like, I am releasing. I'm going to take this, time box it, take it to a certain point, and then I'm putting it out there and building in public and refining as needed. But you have to release. You have to like just put your thing out there. Yeah.
I totally agree, and that's also how people grow. Like I think a lot of people, like not even people in crypto, anyone in general. I think like those who sort of start up businesses and stuff like that have to do that. I think a lot of people don't, and it's a real shame. You also, if you don't take that first step, you don't know what you can achieve. In my eyes,
I know, and don't get me wrong, like it's not easy. It's scary as hell, and you have
definitely.
to understand that. I think I mentioned the last time we were together, like even the Great Pyramid of Giza only has like 4.5 stars because there are people going onto Google, taking their time, leaving a review for the Great Pyramid of Giza, and complaining about the heat or whatever, or complaining about like being able to see the city because it's not in the middle of nowhere like they thought, or whatever. There are people crapping on that, so you have to accept. All right, if the Great Pyramid of Giza can't get away without anyone leaving some ridiculous,
Definitely.
non-constructive feedback, then I should expect it as well. So it's very scary, but take the leap. It is so worth it. And whether you're the next Bill Gates or whatever or not, the journey itself is worth it.
Definitely agree. And at the end of the day, you're gonna notice people who complain more than the people who spread positivity. People who complain, it stands out like a sore thumb. And some people, will just leave a negative review. But at the end of the day, if you're building something you believe, then that's all that matters. As long as you're doing the right thing for yourself and you're getting yourself out there. Is there anything sort of happening in Kreechures which you can share? I know it's a bit of a cheeky question, or is there anything up and coming you'd like to chat about? Or
Yeah, I was making the list of what do they call it in crypto? Basically, insider trading alpha. I think they call it alpha. I was thinking like, what alpha can we leave? So certainly combat's been out for a while. The preseason, our first preseason, has started with that, and before each season, which will be probably a month or two, we'll have a preseason where we introduce like new features, new gameplay
cool.
mechanics, whatnot. But we're in our first preseason right now. There's certainly, since we now have hundreds of players battling out every single day, and thousands of users every day training overall. We're learning a lot of what needs to be adjusted before we go into season one. So we've got everyone knows that staking is coming out. I think we've got that locked in. So we're about to release that. That's really exciting because people, collectors, creature owners will be earning Kin plus Shadow, which is the Genesis Go crypto, because we run a couple of shadow nodes, shadow operator nodes, which I could talk about all day but I won't. But everyone's tracking the equipment management. Probably the alpha that I'll drop is, we teased or mentioned very briefly racing a couple of months ago. It's been on our roadmap, but we haven't really mentioned it at all since then. And racing, speed and dexterity is certainly those are certainly two of the four base attributes that you train. And racing, it would be cool if we did something besides combat, if you're not into that, where that actually utilized those. So I guess the alpha is like, we haven't mentioned it, but racing is actually a little bit further along than everyone's probably tracking, if they haven't already forgotten.
That's very interesting.
So we might have some gameplay videos coming out soon, and I guess the true alpha there, since we have already technically said the word racing. The true alpha is, it's not a text experience. It's not a text. Just clicking some buttons experience. It's actually more of a traditional, or I won't say traditional, but more of a modern game experience. So I think that's probably the alpha that will probably surprise some people. So that's it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting, and we'll have some gameplay videos here out soon.
Nice. You've now got my head blown with the possibility of all of this coming out. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on today. It's really much appreciated. If you guys want to try out Kreechures, I'll put a link in the description of the video. But yeah, thank you ever so much for tuning in, and thank you ever so much, Daniel, for attending today.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
No worries.
And it's always amazing getting a chance to talk to you. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and you. Cheers.
Cheers.